Hello, beautiful day to everyone. Welcome to another Hope Worldwide, where we move and talk about helping at least one person in the area of faith, family, finances. And we've been getting a lot of questions about this one particular topic, so we wanted to answer it. Question is this business that we're doing is a scam, or is it just another MLM?
We get that question a lot. In fact, we asked that same question when we found this business over 6 years ago now, because you just don't know. I mean, it can happen online, it can happen offline. And for the people that are asking that question, when you're skeptical like that, that means that you've gone through stuff, maybe unpleasant, unfortunate stuff. So it's not your fault. I guess what we want to do first is talk about the actual definition of the word scam.
What is a scam?
Yeah, because we find that people use the word very lightly nowadays. So anything that they don't understand, they call it a scam. They haven't really found out what it actually is. They just categorize it as a scam. If it looks novel, if it looks new, if it looks, I don't know, just based on looks, really, not based on facts.
Or if they hear keywords, specific keywords.
For example, the word recruit, right?
Aha.
Anytime you hear the word recruit, people think it's a scam. But that's not what we do in the business. We don't do recruitment. But just as an example, companies like the Tupperware or Amway, or what are the direct selling companies? Network marketing companies, multi-level marketing companies. Those are actually legitimate companies.
Businesses, yeah.
They're legitimate businesses.
Yeah.
But just because of the manner that is not really necessarily something that people want to do, so like the recruitment part, then they think it's a scam.
Or the fact that it's not necessarily known worldwide, because what's actually known worldwide is a job posting is made and then you apply for that job. That's actually recruiting. You're recruiting to to work in a job.
Right.
But that's the legitimized way of doing it. And that's what's known worldwide. So if it's something else, then people would think, okay, that looks off. That looks weird.
That's so true, because in your area, or even in nursing, you do deal with recruiters sometimes.
Yeah, I do.
And the recruiters get a kickback once they place you in a position.
Absolutely. Okay, so we want to answer the question, what actually is a scam? What's a scam?
I think of a scam when I hear of someone saying, I paid for ABC, and either they only got a portion of it, so they either got A or B, but not C, or they never got A, B, or C.
Right.
So it's essentially a deal that was not fulfilled, or that was partially fulfilled. And that to me is a scam. So for example, if I went to an online store and it says for $50, you get this ring, for example, then I put my information, and then weeks later, months, no ring came. Right? So that's a scam, because I was expecting a ring. You described that this is what I was going to get for this amount. There's supposed to be an exchange,
right,
for my money with a particular goods or services.
Right.
But if that's not fulfilled, then that's a scam.
In contrast to what a scam is, we're going to talk about what is a legitimate opportunity. And that essentially now is an opportunity that offers real products, real services in exchange for money. So a value is exchanged, right? At that point.
A legitimate business or a legitimate opportunity, it can still fail.
Absolutely.
If we go to opportunities, for example,
right.
You paid for a course or a program, but it didn't make you a millionaire in 2 years. People.
And this is where we kind of get sticky, and we're just giving some clarity around this right now.
Some people will call that a scam.
Right. Because it didn't allow them to succeed. But why is that? Let's hear about the why.
Yeah, because a lot of the times when we talk to people, right, and our radar kind of goes up really strongly when people say, I've tried 10 different things and none of them worked for me. At first, I would say, oh my gosh, like all those scams, right? Like
Mhm.
10 opportunities didn't work. But now we are asking, why do you think that didn't work?
Right.
What was missing? What could you have done? Was there anything that you could have done to
Mhm.
make it work? And when we ask that, people will actually say, oh, because I didn't put that much time into it. I was distracted. So you get the reasons as to why they think it didn't work for them.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean those 10, maybe a couple of those opportunities were scams. We don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But this is just us shedding light on, just be careful and be wary what people call a scam. Dig a little deeper.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing that my wife mentioned here, I've tried 10 different things, but what is the common denominator in those 10 different opportunities that that person has tried? That person is the common denominator, right? And so that's where digging deeper is necessary for us, the person, to know and realize, okay, what are the reasons behind it, and then moving forward from there.
Sometimes too, there are actually people who are very hardworking, very motivated, very determined, and they go through 10 different opportunities and they do their very best at them. They probably earn maybe 5,000, 10,000 a month with them, and then the company goes sideways, right? Like that's beyond your control.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't call that a scam, or there are a lot of companies out there with really good products, but their systems just suck. And it's hard for people to become an affiliate with them because I guess they don't have a way to get customers, a consistent flow of customers, or I don't know, their compensation plan sucks, right?
Yeah,
so it's like pennies and dimes, like who would want to put their all into that kind of thing? So there are opportunities that are legitimate, but they just don't work out because the
system is broken.
The system is broken.
And so now, to wrap everything up, is our business, the business that we're doing, is it a scam?
So we'd have to tell you our background to answer that really well. I was a full-time nurse before finding this business.
And I was a user experience designer or web designer in an online insurance company.
So those are two very good jobs, very secure jobs, right? And as people who have growing kids, young kids, we would never put our livelihoods at risk for something that had a hint of a scam.
Absolutely.
Or shadiness or deception, right? So we'll say that. The other thing too is that we actually provide real products and services in exchange for an investment, right? So our offer is we help people who have no experience create a passive income business through social media. So you're given all the tools, all the products, if you like, all the training, all the coaching, all the mentorship in exchange for your investment. And that is actually what people get from us. We've been doing it for almost 6 years now. So there's a real exchange there. Lastly, for people who are still, okay, that sounds good, but how can I know for sure without taking a risk, right? We actually offer a way for you to explore the business offerings, the ins and outs, everything before you sign the dotted line, before you let go of your investment. You can explore the business for 30 days, 30 full days, where you can go into our paid community. You can see what other people are doing, other parents like us are doing.
And this is risk-free, right?
And that is risk-free because at the end of the 30 days or within those 30 days, if you say, you know what, this is not for me, then you get your money back. The cost for it is very small. It's $149, right?
Yeah.
It's essentially free to take a look, but we only want serious people because, as you can imagine, we advertise throughout the globe, and a ton of people come to us and say, we're ready, but are you really ready? Where's the money, right? If you would like to, explore this seriously, then that is there for you for 30 days. It's $149. So all that to say, if it's not for you, we don't get your money. We don't even want to work with you, right? Because we only want to coach people who understand what the offer is. If you don't understand, then you're going to say it's a scam. You're going to say You know what, that was a bad decision. Like, we just don't want that.
And we're not in the business of just taking people's money. We're not a,
because that would be a scam.
That would be a scam. Right?
And another thing too, a trait with scammers is that they always guarantee you your results. They will say you will earn 20,000 in 30 days, right? Usually that's what they say. And that's why people sign up, because it's the hype, right? They're not sold a system. We are selling you a system so that when somebody says, Roger and Renee, how fast can I earn something from this? We can't guarantee that.
We can't.
Again, back to what we were saying before, it's your effort. The program is there. It's kind of like any program that you take in school, right? The program is there. You pay a certain amount, you go through it, but it's still not a guarantee that you're going to graduate, because that's up to you. That's up to your effort if you're going to graduate or not. So it's the same thing here. It's no different.
All right. Awesome. So I think we answered the question, and I hope so at least one person got something from this. To conclude, this has been Hope Worldwide. Well, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about anything that we discussed, leave it in the comments. We'll be more than happy to answer. Blessings to you all.
See you on the next one.
See you on the next one.